Behind the silence of the Persian Gulf lives a prince whose power isn't measured in headlines but in palaces, fleets, and control. From flying palaces worth hundreds of millions to yachts longer than football fields, his world is built on wealth few ever see. Watch until the very end, because we'll reveal what truly separates royal luxury from real power and why his influence goes far beyond money. The prince behind the power. In the Gulf, power rarely announces itself. It operates quietly through institutions, land, and long-term control. At the center of that system stands Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, a figure who represents a new model of Middle Eastern royalty, one where influence is engineered, not inherited blindly. Unlike ceremonial royals, Prince Salman holds real executive authority. As Crown Prince, First Deputy Prime Minister, and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Bahrain Defense Force, he operates at the intersection of politics, economics, and national security. These roles place him in direct oversight of state budgets worth tens of billions of dollars, from infrastructure spending to defense procurement and long-term economic planning. His power is not symbolic, it is operational. What makes this position unique is how modern it is. Bahrain is not the largest Gulf state, nor the richest in oil reserves. Its national strategy depends on diversification, finance, aluminum production, logistics, and fintech. Prince Salman is deeply involved in shaping that transition. Under Vision 2030, Bahrain has positioned itself as a financial hub, with assets flowing through institutions managing hundreds of billions of dollars in regional and international capital. Influence here is built through regulation, stability, and access, not spectacle. His personal wealth, estimated at around $2 billion, reflects this structure. While the number is significant, it is modest compared to the scale of assets he oversees indirectly through royal and state-linked portfolios. Land holdings, sovereign investments, industrial stakes, and strategic reserves form the real base of power. These are assets measured not in headlines, but in decades. Luxury, in this context, serves a purpose. High-value properties, secure transport, and exclusive environments are not excess, they are infrastructure. They ensure privacy, continuity, and autonomy at a level where decisions affect entire sectors of the economy. When influence operates across borders, control of time, space, and access becomes essential. Prince Salman's lifestyle is often described as extravagant, but that framing misses the point. In royal systems, visibility reinforces legitimacy, precision reinforces authority. Every element, residences, security, mobility, is calibrated to project stability, not indulgence. This is why his presence resonates far beyond Bahrain's borders, particularly among political leaders, investors, and institutions that prioritize predictability. What truly defines his position is balance. He represents tradition without stagnation, wealth without recklessness, and authority without constant exposure. In a region where power can be loud, his influence is measured and therefore durable. This is not the story of a prince surrounded by luxury for its own sake. It is the story of how modern royalty adapts to a world where power is no longer inherited once, but maintained every day. Do you think modern royals hold real power today, or are they simply managing appearances? Royal palaces, architecture of authority. In Bahrain, power is not exercised from a single office or a visible throne. It is distributed across space, embedded in stone, land, and geography. The royal palaces of the Al Khalifa family are not ceremonial backdrops. They are operational centers of authority designed to control distance, access, and decision-making. Each palace serves a distinct function within the kingdom's political system. The most strategically important of these is Al Sakhir Palace, located deep in the western desert. Far from the dense population of Manama, the palace occupies land valued at hundreds of millions of dollars when accounting for its scale, security perimeter, and exclusive zoning. Its isolation is deliberate. Al Sakhir is used for high-level diplomacy, sensitive meetings, and moments when privacy outweighs visibility. Heads of state and senior defense officials have been received here, away from public scrutiny. The palace's architecture, wide courtyards, controlled entrances, and long sightlines prioritizes security and command over ornament. Closer to the capital stands Al Qudaybiyah Palace, the political nerve center of the kingdom. Located in Manama near major religious and governmental landmarks, This palace functions as a working seat of power. Weekly cabinet meetings are held here. Key policy announcements, diplomatic negotiations, and executive decisions take place within its walls. The land alone, given its central urban location, is estimated to be worth well over $100 million, excluding the palace structure itself. Unlike Al-Sakhir, Al-Qudaybiyah is about accessibility to institutions, ministries, embassies, and financial centers rather than retreat. Then there is Rifa Palace, a site rooted in Bahrain's historical identity. Built originally as a fort in the 19th century, Rifa Palace once served as the primary seat of power before Manama became dominant. Today, the complex spans extensive grounds and restored structures, whose combined historical and land value is estimated in the tens of millions of dollars. While it is used less frequently for daily governance, Rifa remains symbolically critical. It anchors the royal family's legitimacy in continuity, defense, and tradition. What unites these palaces is not luxury, but function. Each controls a different dimension of authority, privacy, administration, and heritage. Together they form a spatial system of governance. Decisions affecting billions of dollars in state spending, defense procurement, and economic planning are distributed across these locations, reducing vulnerability and centralization. These palaces are not interchangeable residences, they are tools. In modern monarchy, architecture becomes strategy. Walls manage information, distance manages risk, location manages influence. In Bahrain, authority is not concentrated in one room. It is spread deliberately across desert, city, and history, ensuring that power is never easy to reach, but always firmly held. Cars and supercars, precision, status, exclusivity. For Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, automobiles are not casual luxuries. They are instruments of identity chosen to communicate precision, restraint, and absolute exclusivity. In royal circles, cars are never just about speed. They are about what cannot be replaced, replicated, or easily purchased, even with unlimited capital. At the center of the collection is the McLaren P1, a hybrid hypercar limited to just 375 units worldwide. With a market value that has risen to approximately $1.5 million, the P1 represents a turning point in automotive engineering. Its hybrid system combines electric efficiency with extreme performance, producing over 900 horsepower. Ownership of a P1 is not about novelty, it signals early access to future technology before it becomes mainstream. Even rarer is the McLaren Senna LM, a track-focused evolution inspired by McLaren's Le Mans heritage. With only a handful produced, its estimated value exceeds $1.7 million. The Senna LM strips away comfort in favor of control. Lightweight materials, aggressive aerodynamics, and uncompromising design reflect a philosophy of dominance through precision rather than excess. Then there is the McLaren Speedtail, a hyper GT built for long-distance speed and luxury. Valued at around $2.3 million, the Speedtail combines a streamlined carbon fiber body with a central driving position and bespoke interior craftsmanship. It is not designed for tracks or displays. It is designed for private roads, controlled environments, and discreet travel at extreme velocity. Classic rarity also plays a role. The Ferrari 288 GTO, produced in the mid-1980s, is one of Ferrari's most significant homologation models. With fewer than 300 units ever made, current valuations range between $3 million and $4 million. Its importance lies not in modern performance, but in legacy, representing a moment when Ferrari built cars not for mass appeal, but for elite competition readiness. Balance comes from the unconventional. The Mercedes-Benz G-Class 6x6, originally developed for extreme terrain, carries an estimated value of $600,000. With 6 driven wheels and portal axles, it merges military-grade capability with luxury. In a collection dominated by precision machines, the 6x6 represents control over environment, not just speed. Completing the collection is the Singer Porsche 911 DLS, a re-engineered classic built with obsessive detail. Valued at approximately $2 million, it is not manufactured in volume nor marketed traditionally. Each unit is commissioned, engineered, and delivered privately. It reflects an appreciation for craftsmanship over branding. Together, these vehicles form a collection measured not by size, but by selectivity. Every car occupies a specific purpose, technological innovation, historical significance, or controlled power. None are chosen for spectacle. In this world, cars are not trophies, they are statements, quiet ones. Mega yachts, floating palaces of the Gulf. For Gulf royalty, the sea is not an escape, it is an extension of statecraft. For Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, mega yachts function as mobile palaces, capable of hosting diplomacy, securing privacy, and projecting power far beyond land borders. These vessels are not recreational toys, they are sovereign environments, engineered for autonomy. The most formidable in the fleet is Al Raya, a superyacht measuring approximately 110 meters and built by the German shipyard Lürssen, a name synonymous with elite maritime engineering. Yachts of this scale and pedigree are typically valued at $400 million to $500 million, depending on interior specifications. Al Raya is designed to accommodate 16 guests across expansive suites, supported by a crew of around 47, ensuring seamless operation at all times. Features include an indoor swimming pool, private cinema, spa facilities, steam rooms, and a fully equipped medical area, transforming the vessel into a self-contained floating estate. Equally significant is Al Salamah, a 103.9-meter yacht also constructed by Lürssen. Originally commissioned for Saudi royalty before being transferred to the Bahraini Crown Prince, its estimated value exceeds $350 million. Al Salamah includes a library, conference rooms, a business center, gymnasium, spa, and a dedicated hospital space. With capacity for 36 guests, it is built for hosting large delegations, making it ideal for extended voyages where meetings, negotiations, and strategic discussions take place far from public view. Then there is Al Waili, a comparatively smaller but highly refined yacht measuring 68 meters, built by CRN in Italy. Valued at approximately $60 million to $80 million, Al Waili emphasizes comfort and stabilization over sheer scale. Following an extensive refit, it features 12 guest suites, zero-speed stabilizers for smooth anchoring, and entertainment spaces optimized for leisure and private gatherings. With a crew of 19, it is perfectly suited for shorter regional journeys across the Gulf and Mediterranean. What unites these yachts is not extravagance, but operational logic. Each vessel serves a distinct purpose: large-scale hosting, long-range autonomy, or discrete mobility. Together, they allow movement without reliance on ports, hotels, or fixed infrastructure. Maintenance alone for yachts of this class can exceed $20 million per year, a cost justified by the strategic value of uninterrupted privacy and control. In royal systems, space is power. On land, it is managed through palaces. At sea, it is managed through steel, engineering, and distance. These yachts create environments where schedules are controlled, access is restricted, and visibility is optional. They are not symbols of excess, they are instruments of independence. And in the Gulf, independence, especially offshore, is priceless. Flying palaces, power without borders. For Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, air travel is not about convenience, it is about control of distance, time, and exposure. In royal systems, aviation is not transportation, it is infrastructure. The aircraft he commands are designed to eliminate borders, compress continents, and maintain authority in motion. At the center of this airborne network is a Boeing 747-400 BBJ, often described as a flying palace. Aircraft of this configuration are valued at over $200 million before customization. The interior, designed for royal use, replaces commercial seating with private suites, formal lounges, conference rooms, dining areas, and secure communication zones. This aircraft is built for long-haul diplomatic missions, capable of transporting leadership, advisors, and security teams without relying on foreign facilities. In practical terms, it functions as a mobile headquarters at cruising altitude. Complementing it is the Boeing 747 SP, a shortened but ultra-long-range variant of the 747 platform. With an estimated value of $120 million to $150 million, the 747 SP is optimized for non-stop intercontinental flights. Its reduced fuselage allows for extended range, making it ideal for direct travel between distant capitals without refueling stops. In geopolitical terms, fewer stops mean fewer jurisdictions, fewer delays, and fewer variables outside royal control. For flexibility, the fleet includes Gulfstream G550 and G650 business jets, each valued between $60 million and $70 million. These aircraft are engineered for speed, efficiency, and discretion. Their advanced avionics, secure communications, and long-range capability allow direct access to airports unreachable by wide-body jets. These aircraft are typically used for high-level meetings, rapid diplomatic visits, or movements requiring minimal visibility. The Gulfstream G650, in particular, is designed to reduce fatigue on ultra-long flights through advanced cabin pressurization and lighting systems. This matters when decision-makers are expected to operate immediately upon landing. Comfort, in this context, is operational readiness. The fleet is rounded out by a Boeing 767-400ER, valued at approximately $150 million depending on configuration. This aircraft balances range, capacity, and efficiency, making it suitable for transporting family members, official delegations, or extended entourages. It offers private sleeping quarters, secure lounges, and adaptable seating, bridging the gap between executive jet and flying palace. Across all aircraft, shared features include encrypted communications, advanced air filtration, reinforced security zones, and interiors designed for both privacy and productivity. Annual operating and maintenance costs for a fleet of this scale can exceed tens of millions of dollars, a necessary expense for uninterrupted sovereignty in the air. In modern power structures, influence does not pause at borders. Aviation ensures that authority remains continuous, regardless of geography. When movement is unrestricted, time becomes leverage. These aircraft are not symbols of excess, they are tools of permanence. In the sky, power does not wait. Real wealth, influence, and legacy. Strip away the supercars, the yachts, and the flying palaces, and what remains is the real foundation of power. For Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, wealth is not defined by what moves or shines, but by what endures. His estimated personal net worth stands at approximately $2 billion, but that figure only tells part of the story. The deeper source of influence lies in assets that do not trend, depreciate slowly, and shape entire systems. The first pillar is royal land ownership and real estate. The Al Khalifa family controls vast tracts of land across Bahrain, including coastal property, urban developments, and strategically located estates. In a country with limited land availability, these holdings are among the most valuable assets imaginable. Prime royal land in Bahrain can be valued at tens of millions of dollars per parcel, while larger estates and development zones collectively represent billions of dollars in long-term value. Land here is not just property, it is leverage over infrastructure, housing, and commercial expansion. The second pillar is finance and banking. Bahrain has positioned itself as a regional financial hub, hosting international banks, investment firms, and fintech platforms. Institutions operating under Bahrain's regulatory framework manage hundreds of billions of dollars in regional and global capital. As Crown Prince and First Deputy Prime Minister, Prince Salman plays a central role in shaping this environment, overseeing policies that attract capital while maintaining stability. Influence over regulation does not generate headlines, but it determines where money flows. Industrial assets form the third pillar. Bahrain's aluminum industry, led by Aluminum Bahrain, is among the largest aluminum producers globally. Facilities of this scale generate billions of dollars in annual revenue, supplying international markets across Asia, Europe, and North America. Alongside aluminum, petrochemical and downstream industrial investments provide consistent cash flow insulated from short-term market volatility. These sectors do not deliver spectacle, but they deliver permanence. Then there is diversification beyond oil. Unlike some Gulf economies, Bahrain's long-term strategy reduces reliance on hydrocarbons. Under Vision 2030, emphasis is placed on education, logistics, digital infrastructure, and private sector growth. Prince Salman is not a passive beneficiary of this shift. He is one of its architects, guiding reforms that affect tens of billions of dollars in future economic output. Policy, in this context, becomes an asset class of its own. Philanthropy also plays a strategic role. Programs such as the International Scholarship Program, launched in 1999, invest directly in human capital, funding education, leadership training, and global exposure for Bahraini students is not charity, it is succession planning at a national scale. The returns are measured in decades, not quarters. This is where the idea of trillionaire life truly takes shape, not through personal cash holdings, but through influence over assets, systems, and decisions that move far more than $2 billion. Luxury is visible, infrastructure is not, and infrastructure is where power compounds. Prince Salman's legacy is not defined by what he owns personally, but by what he helps build, stabilize, and preserve. In the long run, that distinction matters more than any fleet or collection. Do you think real wealth comes from owning assets or from shaping the systems that control them? The life of the Prince of Bahrain reveals more than luxury, it exposes how modern power actually works. First, true wealth is diversified, not displayed. While supercars and yachts capture attention, the real foundation lies in land, industry, finance, and long-term state assets. Second, mobility equals control. Private aircraft, mega yachts, and global residences aren't indulgences, they are tools that remove borders, delays, and dependence. And third, legacy outlives luxury. Through economic leadership, industrial investment, and education initiatives, influence is transferred from one generation to the next. This is why royal power endures while flashy wealth fades. If you enjoyed this deep dive, like the video and subscribe to Billionaire Story for more untold lives of royalty, billionaires, and global elites. And stay tuned, Part 2 will explore the hidden economic engines behind Gulf royalty and how their influence quietly shapes the global financial system.